The village of Kaaviya held its breath. It was a place where shadows lingered too long and whispers danced on the wind. The villagers knew the legend. They passed it down through generations. It was a tale of greed and wrath. It was the story of Kamini Devi. Kamini Devi, they said, was once the protector of Kaaviya. A benevolent goddess, her heart overflowed with love for her people. She blessed their land with abundance. Their harvests were bountiful. Their lives were filled with joy. Blinded by greed, the villagers turned against their goddess. In her sorrow and rage, Kamini Devi unleashed her wrath. Kamini Devi swore that greed would never again poison Kaaviya.
I received the news in a letter. My grandmother, a woman I barely knew, had passed away. She had left me her estate in Kaaviya. A strange bequest, I thought, but an inheritance was an inheritance. Little did I know I was stepping into a nightmare.
An old family mansion, quite grand really, though it's been empty for decades. There are whispers and rumors, local superstitions about the place.
But Aarav dismissed them. He was a practical man.
My first night at the mansion, the nightmare began. The wind howled like a banshee. The shadows seemed to writhe and twist. I heard whispers, soft and insidious, just beyond the edge of hearing. A presence. I stood at the edge of Kaaviya. The air hung heavy, thick with the smell of decay and the weight of forgotten sorrow. The village was a shadow of its former self. The houses were dilapidated, the streets empty. The villagers, those who remained, moved with a haunted look in their eyes.
They spoke of Aarav's grandmother, an outsider like him. She had come to Kaaviya seeking something, a treasure, they said, hidden within the depths of the mansion. They warned him against repeating her mistakes.
The land is cursed, they said, their voices hushed. Some things are best left undisturbed.
He explored the mansion, his footsteps echoing in the silence. Each room whispered of forgotten lives, of hopes dashed and dreams turned to dust. He felt a connection to them, a shared history that both fascinated and terrified him.
I found it hidden in the attic, tucked away behind a loose brick. It was a discovery that felt almost magical, as if the past had been waiting for me to uncover its secrets. A leather-bound journal, its pages brittle with age. My grandmother's journal. The cover was worn, the leather cracked, but it held a certain elegance, a testament to its journey through time. As I opened it, a musty smell wafted up, the scent of time and secrets. It was as if the air itself was whispering tales of yesteryears, stories that had been locked away for decades. The ink was faded, the handwriting spidery, but I could still make out the words. Each letter seemed to carry the weight of my grandmother's thoughts, her emotions etched into every stroke.
Her words spoke of Kamini Devi not as a vengeful goddess, but as a heartbroken protector. The deity's story was one of sorrow and sacrifice, a misunderstood guardian of ancient wisdom. She wrote of a treasure, yes, but not one of gold or jewels. It was something far more valuable, something intangible yet profoundly impactful. It was a treasure of wisdom, a lesson hidden within the curse itself, a lesson that spoke of human nature, of our desires and the consequences they bring, a way to break free from the cycle of greed. It was a revelation that could change lives, a key to unlocking a future unburdened by the past.
Night after night, I pored over the journal. Each page was a new piece of the puzzle, a step closer to understanding my grandmother's world. Each entry drew me deeper into the mystery, into my grandmother's obsession. Her words were a window into her soul, revealing her hopes, fears, and relentless pursuit of the truth. I learned of her research, her attempts to understand the curse and find the key to breaking it. She had dedicated her life to this quest, leaving no stone unturned. I saw her descent into madness, her conviction that the treasure was real, a tangible thing she could possess. It was heartbreaking to witness her struggle, her unwavering belief that she could change the course of our family's destiny. Aarav found it on the last page of the journal, a crude map drawn in his grandmother's trembling hand. It led to a hidden chamber sealed off for centuries.
The Forbidden Chamber, the villagers called it, a place of whispers and shadows where the curse was said to be strongest.
He knew he shouldn't go. The villagers' warnings echoed in his mind, but the lure of the unknown, the possibility of breaking the curse, was too strong to resist. He had to see for himself.
The entrance was hidden behind a tapestry, concealed for generations. He pushed it aside, revealing a narrow passageway. The air grew colder, heavy with the weight of ages. He could feel eyes on him, watching his every move. The whispers grew louder, swirling around him like a vortex of despair.
He emerged into a large chamber, its walls lined with ancient symbols.
The moment Aarav's fingers brushed the silk, the chamber pulsed with an ancient, almost sentient energy. It was as if the very fabric of the room was alive, responding to his touch. The air crackled with energy, a tangible force that seemed to hum with a life of its own. It was both exhilarating and terrifying, a reminder of the power that lay hidden within these ancient walls. The symbols on the walls flared to life, bathing the room in an eerie, otherworldly glow. These ancient runes, long forgotten by time, now shone with a brilliance that was both beautiful and foreboding.
What is happening? Aarav's voice trembled, his mind struggling to comprehend the surreal events unfolding before him.
He found himself facing a series of trials, each one testing his resolve, his greed, his very soul. These were not mere physical challenges, but deep psychological battles that probed the darkest corners of his heart. Illusions shimmered before his eyes, each one more tempting than the last. They were visions crafted to exploit his deepest desires and fears. Visions of wealth beyond imagining, of power absolute, of desires fulfilled beyond his wildest dreams. These were the promises laid before him, each one a tantalizing glimpse of what could be his.
This can't be real. Aarav's voice was a whisper, his mind reeling from the overwhelming sensory assault.
He saw himself hailed as a hero, his name whispered in awe. The adulation of the masses was intoxicating, a heady mix of pride and validation. But beneath the surface of these temptations, he sensed a darkness. It was a shadow that lurked just out of sight, a sinister presence that tainted the allure of the visions, a hollowness that promised only to consume him. This void was a stark contrast to the opulence of the illusions, a reminder of the emptiness that lay at the heart of greed.
I have to stay strong. Aarav's resolve hardened, his determination a beacon against the encroaching darkness.
He faced apparitions of his ancestors, their faces twisted in a mockery of his own. These spectral figures were a haunting reminder of the legacy he carried, and the expectations that weighed upon him. They tempted him with promises of power and glory, urging him to embrace the curse, to claim the treasure for himself. Their words were honeyed but laced with a poison that threatened to corrupt his very soul. Their voices, echoing through the chamber, were laced with a chilling desperation, a hunger that could never be sated. It was a cacophony of need, a symphony of greed that threatened to drown out his own thoughts. With a surge of willpower, Aarav tore his gaze from the illusions. He saw the trials for what they were, a test of his spirit, a challenge to overcome the curse that had plagued Kaaviya for generations.
I won't repeat my grandmother's mistakes. I won't let greed consume me.
He reached for the silk cloth, this time with a clear mind and a steady hand. As he pulled it away, the chamber fell silent. The illusions vanished, replaced by a profound stillness. The air shimmered and the weight that had been pressing down on him lifted, replaced by a sense of peace.
What is this?
The treasure was not what he expected. It wasn't gold or jewels or any material possession. It was a simple wooden box, adorned with intricate carvings. As he picked it up, he felt a warmth spread through him, a sense of calm he hadn't realized he was missing. Aarav emerged from the chamber, the weight of generations lifted from his shoulders. He held the lotus aloft, its faint glow illuminating the darkness of the mansion. The whispers that had haunted him were gone, replaced by a profound silence. The curse was broken.
It's over. The curse is finally broken.
He walked through the mansion, his footsteps echoing in the newfound stillness. The portraits of his ancestors seemed to watch him with a sense of peace, their expressions no longer filled with longing and despair. They were finally free.
Rest in peace, ancestors.
He stepped out into the village, the lotus held high. The villagers gathered around him, their faces a mixture of awe and disbelief. The air shimmered, and a gentle breeze swept through Kaaviya, carrying with it the scent of blooming flowers. The curse was broken.